Disco Elysium. And I had a pretty good time last time. I think we're getting pretty close to wrapping everything up. So without further ado, let's get started. At least I know it's working. I'm gonna have to restart that. Okay, sorry about that. I guess.
The lieutenant's posture becomes rigid and uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area just above his shoulder blade. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep, and yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stale and acrid traces of oil rags, transmission fluid, and brake pads. Wait, there's something else there. Something that sets your GABA receptors aflutter. The lieutenant's aftershave, a common drugstore brand. Strong hints of pine needle. But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint? Tough to say.
Do you need something, detective?
I was just wondering what brand of aftershave you use.
It's nothing fancy, just plain old Tiger Super Special. I do like the way it tingles though. It's the only part of shaving I actually look forward to. Was there something else you wish to discuss?
The lieutenant is fastidious. Wait, the lieutenant, but what?
Do you need something, detective?
Just as I suspected, you're no lieutenant, you're a mechanic.
I do like to hang around the motor pool every now and then, but that doesn't make me a mechanic. Sort of like how hanging around the liquor store hasn't made you into a master distiller.
That was a cheap shot.
My apologies, detective. I couldn't resist. Was there something else you wish to discuss?
Oh, I can.
Said something about a little girl at the village who knows where more of the armor is. I'm not seeing any little girls anywhere around here.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with you and those waves?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
I don't know if I'll actually be able to pull off dating her. Like it said, it was a heroic achievement. I can try, but it'd be better if Kim wasn't around. I don't know if I've been in this area. Oh, okay, I have. That's where the car is. Oh, that's why it let me smell him. Need to report to Lena. Convince Hardy. Call the library. I don't think it's late enough to do that. Little girl in the fishing village. Could try going into a few buildings. I mean, why not? I think I've been in here before. Yeah, looks picked clean. Alright, let's try another building. Yeah, it needs to be 10 o'clock before I can call the library. It's 7:46. So, need to find something to occupy my time. Get into that house. Like this. Oh, yeah, no. Where are you going? Aren't there guys over here? Oh, they think that's the little girl.
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid, leaning against the wall.
Try to sneak up on the phasmid.
It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing.
That's what I get for trying to be a scientist instead of a cop. I mean, I'm not even a good cop. That'd probably hurt my morale. Of course it wasn't the phasmid. It's way too big.
Don't be too hard on yourself. You couldn't have known that for sure. And besides, finding this phasmid is your special destiny. You can feel it.
Give the dream of discovering the Insulindian phasmid a rest for now. What's that? Ruffled grouse taxidermy.
Mister, what were you doing in my fireplace?
There was a phasmid in it. I was trying to catch it.
Oh. Okay.
I heard there was a little girl who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh. I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
And where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were going to take them. They're stupid.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
You Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yeah, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Are the twins outside your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
They look identical, right? I said the same thing.
They look identical.
What is that?
It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Garth's good side if you replace the broken scooter you almost certainly broke.
Yes, but what's it for?
I don't know.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
What's that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like,
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Lammy looks soft.
yes. Very soft.
Press your cheek against my
Isn't
leg.
he soft?
Goodbye.
Bye!
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to take the grouse. What an idiot. Alright, now I got the grouse. Now find that sandcastle. Looks like that's it.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Broken.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
So what's missing? So I have gauntlets, greaves, curious. I guess I need the leg part. Let's see. I can put it in one. I think it makes me more intimidating. +2 interfacing. That's actually really good. +1 half-life. I'm decked out for extra logic. At least I thought I was. I like these pants. This peptide speed. Sure, I already had the grouse. Do-do-do-do. There's one more thing I wanted to do up here. Another car that got crashed. Relax, it's not yours.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Pick up the handset.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Dial a random number.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
Yes, it's me, Pierre.
So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died.
Gets lonely even when you're with people.
Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different. There. Chrysanthemum.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
He probably just assumed I was making a regular phone call, not dialing random strangers for some weird reason. Well, he should know better. What's that? Change. Want my money back for making the pointless phone call?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
Why, you think I shouldn't carry around every single article of clothing that I can find? I think you're wrong. I'll find a clue. Alright, where am I going? I gotta waste a little time before I can call for the library. Wait, that's not where I wanted to go. I guess that's where I was clicking. Yeah, I'm back here. It's one of the traps. I have to backtrack all the way back. There's the church. Okay. I think I've gotten everything around here. This is where we found the dead guy, right? Yeah. I did go and get him. I never actually found the dead guy on my first playthrough, so that's kind of interesting. This is who I wanted to talk to.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitaragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Cop and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D? It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
I'm not familiar with anything.
Mea Kalpa, you are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
I don't think I've heard of this field electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
And what was the ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
Well, what happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
So you're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
So what happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
He means they got shot in the head because they were bourgeois. Now, little boy, do you know what bourgeois is?
Officer, I told you this chapter of history wasn't on Mikhail's curriculum yet. Let's keep this kid friendly.
The boy looks first at you, then back at his father, confused.
So what did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
So what was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombe Bessère dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How do these deep tape computers work? Do they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Humpty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Humpty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. He said Humpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Humpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Yost?
Okay, the Humpty Dumpty Dom Center, Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Joost. What are you talking about?
The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
I wanted to ask something else.
But of course, what else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling. No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Can I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Form of martial arts from the Isle of Lo Mengthang, right?
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harley people. The name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the sticks used in other cultures...
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references. Man, he's good at speaking. People must love him.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
Not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then. That's what, like once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
Wait, Prolodon addiction? What an interesting metaphor. Or perhaps not a metaphor at all.
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Here's a former junkie. I can recognize one when I see it.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
Great, thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Whatever. $5. It's a nice chunk of change.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow's just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Still need to find a way to get my gun back. Find out who took it. Have an idea. Okay, let me see if there's somewhere back here. I mean, somewhere in this back area, basically. suggestion on there. Find out what's so cool about the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Damage back here. Those guys are ready to go.
The legend! He's back!
Okay, is that sell stuff?
To kill.
Not giving any booze.
Don't call Abigail! Don't call Abigail!
Sure, I've already done that. It's good to have something that can heal your morale.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Hold on a second. Let's try and go up here. What's this building? Guess I can't find out. It just goes into where the hobos are. Okay. Gotta make sure I'm not missing anything.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What is this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him.
The Headless Fallen Rider, huh?
All the old boomboxes are there.
Boomboxes, okay.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor.
$100. How am I going to afford that? I don't think there's anything else I can even inspect. I can talk to him. I don't think.
Hello, hello.
Alright, let's see.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Man, how did this jacket get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Think about it.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore.
Gross.
Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Ew, ew, ew.
Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. As you hold it in your hands, it makes up. There is no why.
Why did I fondle this gross jacket again?
The worn mat features.
I've already did that. I don't think there's anything else. These guys.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches, flow bears, or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
Of course I do. I'm just testing your bias.
The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West Riversholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
No, they really aren't. It's porno tuning. Say no to the porno.
Say no to the porno. Do you know anything about the murder that took place here?
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Anyone anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work.
I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
That could be the case, yes. A brilliant work of art.
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow, but does not comment.
Do you guys know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
So you kids are into hypnotic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
Don't fuck with me, boys. I'm one of the bad cops.
Whoa. Come on, man. We're just talking here. Just words. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no need to throw your authority in our faces.
That's right. Way to put them in the little boy's corner.
You want to talk? Let's talk, boys. Ask them.
He liked how you decisively shut down a situation that could have turned into a farce.
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
There's no room for the Skulls and the Hardy Boys.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you a part of the Skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think that the organization would accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Enough of this skullery then.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why does your jacket have piss F-word written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
blow it up,
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Those two sentences might be the best quote of the game.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and 2 badass cops.
Hey Kim,
Yes?
do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us. They got those 2 jackets.
What are you implying?
Which one would you want to wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a piss F word or a fuck the world kind of a guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the 2 statements.
Well, that works. I feel like I'm more of a fuck the world guy kind of guy anyway.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
+1. I can pull it up here. Can't level it up too much though.
That ride is...
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken Cop head material.
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have nothing to work with here. It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask them, maybe.
Gentlemen, I need your jackets.
Why?
Look at the shit I'm wearing.
Yeah, like he said, total shit. What about it?
You didn't say that.
It's not shit, it's disco.
It's shit.
Please.
Fine. Fuck it.
It actually worked.
Here. Take it then. I can't handle this sad shit.
It's true. You simply can't. It's called empathy. Wow. I did not see that coming. You better wear that jacket with pride.
Fuck that. You're not getting mine. My dad's a lawyer in La Delta. He'll have your badge.
No, he won't.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
Wait, world fucker, you got a rich dad?
No. He's like a volunteer lawyer. A total bitch. Cites law and does dishes. You know what, cop? Fuck you. That's not what this is about. You're not getting my jacket.
Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway.
Fuck it. We don't need another one. You said that you're more of a piss F-word guy anyway, so we got a jacket for you.
I'm not wearing that jacket.
Why not? You could raise hell. Go undercover, hard.
I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all.
Still, it's good to know that we have it, should the need arise.
The need will not arise.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops? Let's get the fuck out of here before anyone sees us.
Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I just don't like confrontations, that's all.
Now I've got an offensive jacket. Actually, I kind of want to see. Curious what I can do with the Headless Horseman. Kuno seems to like found stuff, so maybe they'll be interested in it.
Fuck the fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmice. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Nothing new we can talk about with Kuno.
Wait. No. Something about this bunch doesn't smell right.
What do you mean? Aren't there Everett's guys?
They are, but they don't seem too keen to talk with you. do they? No, they don't. Glenn seems to be contemplating grievous bodily harm while he massages his raw knuckles. In the far back, Eugene is doing his best to ignore you.
Shooting furtive glances and mumbling uneasily to himself.
And from his perch at the end of the table, Titus Hardy himself stares at you with a cold contempt that makes you want to leave the cafeteria straight away. Besides, you're pretty sure they consider themselves social democrats.
Alright, guess I'll at least look elsewhere then. Who's this guy?
Hi, gendarme.
Oh, it's the ball.
Another rendezvous.
The balcony guy. There he is again, the smoker in the balcony. Right here in the whirling in rags. Hi.
Hi. So what brings you here?
What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
I'm here to kick some ass and solve the case I'm working on.
Well, here's to you.
Tell me again about that muscular type who came to investigate the crime.
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
What did you tell him?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
And he believed you?
Why shouldn't he?
Did you tell him about your friend?
What friend?
Your Sunday friend, the witness.
No, I don't think it came up.
What did he look like?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
Earpiece?
Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear.
What was he saying?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
Sounds like one of the mercenary guys. So besides muscular, did he have any other identifying traits?
Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries.
Oh, that checks out.
He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Well, thanks for the information.
Sure. Anything else on your mind?
I met your Sunday friend.
You did? And how did you like him?
You're right, he was magical. Magically bureaucratic.
I told you, he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people.
Who is he?
A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return.
Return where?
To his opportunities in Occident, sur la clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know.
What are you two?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
So what does that mean, a Sunday friend?
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
So does that even count as a friend?
It is. On Sundays.
Why was he staying at your place in the middle of the night?
He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean.
I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you.
Hmm? What about me, gendarme?
It's the sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
I told you I'd rock that shit.
It was all right. Subdued. I might start letting people up there again. Now, what can I do for you?
Gart, I found you a new bird for the whirling.
What is this thing?
It's no biggie. Just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it.
He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90. or you get a heart attack from running.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting...
Thought maybe you'd cover it for me bringing you a new bird.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
I restocked my empty trap, or the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in all those reeds.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
So who's gonna check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Once more into the breach, then.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Lana, what's wrong? You seem different. Or Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
You're on your back foot.
I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then.
In doubt about what?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morel told me you'd seen it. You also told me.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
Are you saying you made it up?
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen, an extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
And I need something good here.
All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Normally when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad, but when I think about you and Morel, I feel okay. That counts for something, no?
Oh, of course it counts for something. But we've had our hard times too. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
The thing is, you're not sure you made it up either.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day, like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Are you sure you don't need any help getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
You do that. I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Can I have your address just in case there's news?
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Be careful out there, Lena.
You too, sweetie. Thank you for everything, truly. Even though it turned out to be
A waste of time. A dream. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold, coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
That's kind of sad. Horseback monument.
Again?
Yes? What is it?
Did you hear that? Did you hear me sing? Did you like it?
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, Karaoke Star. Names are dangerous.
That was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again. I mean, seriously, you need to.
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse, and I really liked it.
She actually did.
Look, something's really bugging me. Are we not from the same police station?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
Are you with him?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
He's an asshole.
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
Did you just call me Harry?
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it?
How did you know my name?
God, everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation, so everyone can go home.
I love harassing them. I guess I might give Titus one more talking to.
It's you again. What is it?
It's not quite 10 o'clock yet. Rhetoric. I found someone who saw the hanging, a witness.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
Das just Titus.
Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
My witness isn't a local.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Let's just say he's a high-ranking government official. Leave it at that.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try, right?
MI is short for Moral Intern. Moral Intern is short for Moralist International, the coalition that runs Revachol.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
Witness said the hanging went down very quietly. No shouting, no commotion.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
I imagine you guys drinking and singing lynching songs. What's with the funeral silence?
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Right, I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
Bullseye. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. The lieutenant hit a nerve.
Witness said he saw 2 people of Aeropagite descent and one of Mesquite. Or one of Mesk.
Aeropagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
The witness said it looked like a surreal play.
Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
You didn't break this wagon fort, but you did manage to rattle the people inside a bit.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go to cop school to try that.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and I'm doing great.
You're doing a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info. Convince Titus he's being manipulated? Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glacia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
Well, that's it then. Case closed. We're gonna go home, Kim.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. Martinez. They just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because
you work for the wrong people.
Goddamn right. This is Union Town. You work for the company, we will kill you.
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company.
work for the wrong company, and they execute you.
They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Oh, there he is. There it is.
Shut up, Angus!
That's the Phoenix Wright part right there. He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet. So quiet, you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? Two of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
That's okay with the fat man still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs, the 8th Hardy?
Yeah. He's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
If Classy didn't kill him, then why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
It seemed like the delivery was wrong. Like you should have said hers, you mean, instead of hers, you mean.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do if I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now, threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier you said the girls asked for your help. Who was the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it, for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker. The missing eighth Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
No, it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy Boys, and that's it.
Sure, but can you tell me anything about this affiliate name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to. In a minute.
Remember that?
That's right. Fella.
A little too far.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You're just gonna stonewall me if I ask more about her, aren't you?
Glad you understand that.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, Klasia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection, but...
But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away?
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
If she's in as much danger as he says she is, she should want to be under protection. I think I did arrest her last time. I don't know what I'm going to do this time.
This window is pristine.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
You don't look surprised. You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two, then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
That's not enough. That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Orania.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Elysium County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Elysium Cop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Elysium Cop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's Cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Papalolo.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
I'm sure there are people who've done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh.
Sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
So before we continue, who's Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
And what did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where is she now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. What are you doing? Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot. It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Clausia.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Did you kill Lily?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun lying around, close to her hand. A military weapon using jacketed ammunition. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Downstairs, people have this crazy idea that you killed him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Desire drives people loco.
She simply shakes her head.
He must have had a weapon nearby. Did you use that?
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor.
The bullet in the head. It was jacketed, military grade. Who else here has a military rifle?
I don't know. His friends have rifles. Maybe those psychos did it? Coalition military have rifles. I'm not a munitions expert, and I did not shoot him.
She might have been a tad disingenuous when she avoided talking about the bullet in his head before. Look who's waken up from 1,000 years of sleep.
You've lied to me about this bullet before. When I said he was shot, you said you were confused.
I've said I'm sorry. What more do you want me to say? I did my best not to lie. It didn't always work. Like what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did.
I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
So why did you call the cops if you're in hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you would have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then?
I know drama's duped.
She did, of course. Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer, and it makes you sweat.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her. Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush. See?
Kim, why have we not arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know that number, and that someone coughed means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
Your real name isn't Clashsi Amandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Was the passport bullshit too? The passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
Where is this buoy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
West of the boardwalk in the reeds. We have to check this buoy out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here. Past a broken sewage pipe. Right near the waterline.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name. Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism.
Hold on. Katarzyna Alaje. Not an Oranese name. Is it? It's not even Monday. It's Grad.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Alazie is my father's name.
I'll keep calling you Klasse.
That's cool.
She doesn't feel like a Klassia. She feels like nothing. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Let's change the subject for the time being.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this. As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all.
I was right.
If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft plate.
It looks like love did him in after all.
She's silent, holding on to her coffee mug. No vapor rises from it. It's cold. Remember this silence. The lady is dangerous. People suffer around her. It appears this one has not been entirely corrupted. This may help. This may help the others see.
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced and not real.
Why?
Easier that way.
Was it real?
I don't know.
The same small, heavy door. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back, It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was from?
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Yeah, extrapolate the radius.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at point B, the boardwalk. B prime.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Alright, let's have a look at point B prime prime, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Alright, what about B prime prime prime?
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further within the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Okay. Now we got a lot to work from. think she is a spook. But she's higher up than she is implying.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to Clausier. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
Because she's your real leader.
You're cuckoo, Cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off!
A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pet Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostile cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 12:25 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
He said 12:25 to 12:15? That's obviously a mess up.
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the toilet?
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop.
Oh, I know what it is. You don't need to.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
So you do agree that the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance that the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science cop. You're a madman.
No, I'm a science cop.
Those numbers were an asshole, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
Ruby could have gotten to the roof from somewhere inside the room.
Nah, The only way up there is through Clausia's room.
Maybe there's more.
What do you mean?
How much do you guys know about this place?
We've only been drinking here for what? 6 years? How much do we know?
Been thinking of getting wilding in racks. That is on my ass, boss.
There you go. Tatted on his ass. We know the place.
Oh, there's a locked door in the kitchen and another one that's on the roof. Ever been through either of those?
No, but that doesn't prove anything.
It's just 2 dolls. We're not giving you Ruby for that. She's one of us.
What if those 2 doors are connected, Eugene? Is that your name, Eugene? If they are connected, she could have gone to the kitchen, gone up, shot him on the roof, then come down. All in 5 minutes. How about that?
Yes, she could have. This is one long shot.
Have we firmly established that Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly? Try shit on a stick. All you've established is a possible route to the roof that you haven't found. And even then, a route doesn't put that bullet in the Burke's head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But
I've already established Ruby's running drugs. Could she have smuggled guns too?
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
you were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
All I'm saying is, from what I saw in her cabin, she'd have no trouble getting a gun.
Trouble. This is Revachol. Even the roidheads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun. I still never saw her carry one.
He must be referencing some past case of theirs. He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory.
I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
All right, Cop. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize this cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Eugene, assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
So when did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me as in the RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
And a hole in his heart.
Why not? You suck on that gun like someone tore you a brand new asshole.
And don't forget the funny tie, too.
How can I forget?
You and I are going to dance in the moonlight under 1 billion stars.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop.
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Is it true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cock, Titus. This cock, But she was too scared.
Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry. So, she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely? On the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
The gardener, but she went to tell Everett.
You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Everett anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure. There are some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
Yeah, I'm the junkie that's currently crashing there.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a hail something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Hail something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
It's not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
You should be a cop, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Well, things all changed pretty quickly there. I think we're busting this case wide open. I guess it makes sense why those two doors are
You think you
boarded.
have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
The bullet was jacketed. These don't just lie around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue.
It turned out the bullet was an antique.
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis, and then hand-waved it.
So far, no one has mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you. That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it, and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now, you know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
I'm looking for any information that you can provide on a Billy Magine, a reader.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database. Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yeah, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Do you have any other information on Billy Magine?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy Magine was a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looked like?
Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you, that's all for me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? Just a second, officer. Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer. Yes, hello?
Hey, Sylvie, it's the police office again.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? No, not me.
Do you know who made the call?
No, sorry. People don't...
So do you?
Seems like Glacia wasn't lying when she said it was her. This corroborates her story. She made the call.
I wouldn't be so sure, Detective.
Yeah, go on.
You hear the call.
Anything else I can help you with, 57?
In the cabin, you see a set.
Getting close to wrapping this up. I might just try to get the... Go to Billy Machine's apartment building, apartment 20. I was also gonna check something.
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
What way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through an entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live.
Wait, really? There's no way that's true.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
This is a lot to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
So he was addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Okay, where's he buried now?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city, The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time. A rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic.
People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
That was some interesting world building. That's like one of the symbols of the game, the blown apart statue. Let's put that together. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to the apartment real quick. Just to finish up the dead husband quest line. And then it's off to the fishing village again. Question people about Ruby. There's the mother of all walls again.
There. Do you smell that?
Smell what?
Can you not detect that inimitable whiff of dissatisfaction and restlessness, that sense that the world is in need of dramatic, even violent, reordering? What do you smell? The first thing that strikes you is the overwhelming brine. You imagine yourself underwater, a 100-legged anthropod scuttling along the murky silt at the bottom of the sea. But then, the unmistakable reek of seagull shit hits you, buoyed along on the air currents. An acrid melody atop mouldering cords of wood rot and heavy fuel oil.
Everything in order, detective?
It's kind of a personal errand.
A personal errand.
I'm working on developing my political consciousness.
You're developing your... You know what? I'll just leave you to it. Carry on, detective.
The lieutenant lacks your highly developed politico-olfactory cortex. The smell is undeniable, and it's coming from that balcony up there.
You mean from Cindy?
Certainement. A precocious communist youth. A symbol of a kinder, more hopeful future. Now's your chance to establish contact with your revolutionary brothers and sisters. A chance to establish contact with the future. What a beautiful, terrible thought.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Piss F word and fuck the world, send their best.
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
I think they're afraid of you.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place.
Skulls are cool. Can I be a skull?
Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
Okay, then how's that?
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinaise, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
She's making a valiant effort to come off as a nihilist, but she's really just an angry little commie. No wonder she was talking about the streets flowing red. That's what happened during the revolution.
So tell me, what's it like being a skull and a communist?
You got me, pig shit. I don't make for a very good skull. I like animals too much. Simians and pigs.
But I'm still gonna write some damn good graffiti-o on this wall.
Hey sister, let's talk politics for a minute.
And what do you know about politics?
I'm looking for comrades to help me fire up the great Mazovian sausage grinder. Would you help me?
Oh, that's very nice. The little piggy wants to make sausages. Out of what? His little piggy friends?
Don't worry, Kim. I would never turn you into a sausage.
It was not a concern of mine.
Sure. I know someone who'd love to talk the ideological stuff. You're looking for Steban.
Who's Steban?
A right communist who runs a mega cool and very secret meeting.
Do you know where to find him?
I might.
Will you tell me?
No.
Come on, Cindy. From one communist to another. Help me out.
Oh, fine. I'll help. But first, I want something from you.
What's that?
A wicked grin extends across her face. A laughing skull. Death hilarious. This is gonna be bad.
Oink for me, piggy. Just once.
Come on, this is no way to treat your revolutionary brother.
Wrong! This is exactly how I treat my little brother.
Oink oink.
There, that wasn't so bad, was it?
It's not the worst indignity you've suffered the last several days, but it is up there. The lieutenant, needless to say, is not impressed.
Sounds like you're really serious about meeting Steban. It's touching. Sort of. Steban's group meets only at night, in an old room in these apartments here. It just so happens you're in luck. Their weekly meeting is tonight. Poke your snout around sometime after 10 p.m. and you might just find them.
Hold on, what else can you tell me about this Steban?
Just that he's a real communist. Not like the play acting you've been doing. The rest, you'll have to see for yourself.
That's very helpful. Thank you, Cindy.
Hold on. You didn't think it would be that easy, did you? See, Steban's a bit on the paranoid side. He's got all these mega secret passphrases to keep out infiltrators and the like. You can't join the meeting without one.
But you're not going to tell me, are you?
Why would I? That would be so boring. Now, let's see if you're half as dedicated a communist as you say you are. That's enough. Off with you then.
Catch you later, Cindy. So I know where the secret communist meeting is then. Just need to figure out how to get in as a cop. Not like a cop has ever infiltrated a secret communist meeting before.
Give me a moment.
Looking for Billy Magine. Do you know where she lives?
It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Maisons in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
Do you know anything about a secret meeting that's happening tonight?
What? No. Nobody tells me anything.
How about any unusual activity taking place after hours, say about after 10 p.m.?
If it ain't my business, I'll keep my nose out of it. Think we'd all be better off if people kept their noses to themselves.
All right. Alright, well, since I've already gone a ways over time, I think I'm going to stop it here. A lot of things happened in this episode, pretty eventful, and we will report the death and then investigate the coast to see if we can really get to the bottom of this, see if Clage is actually lying or not. So, I'll see you next Saturday at 3 p.m. for the next stream. Bye-bye.